Hey everybody, this video is going to be on how to apply a liquid emulsion to a clean screen. The emulsion that we're using is Chroma Blue emulsion. It is a liquid emulsion and it is a photosensitive emulsion, which means it's sensitive to light. That's why we're working in this yellow lit room to prevent that exposure to the light that cures emulsion. So you're going to begin by opening the emulsion and finding a scoop coater. This scoop coater is brand new. It has a rubber protection along the edge. If you have this, hang on to it. It prevents this from being nicked and dinged. If there are nicks and dings and scratches in this edge, when you go to apply your emulsion, you have some kind of lumps and bumps and ripples in that emulsion as you apply it, and your goal is to get the smoothest, most even coat of emulsion that you can with your scoop coater. So hang on to that, set it aside. You don't have this on when you apply the emulsion. Okay, this has got to come off before you apply the emulsion. Carefully grab this bucket of emulsion. You're going to pour some emulsion into your scoop coater. Try to minimize any drips. Place that lid back on tight so that it does not dry out. Now you're ready to apply your emulsion. Notice how it flows back and forth within that tray. You're going to apply this edge to the screen. Notice how it has these bumps on the edge of the scoop. When you tip it up onto the screen, you want this to not quite make contact with the screen. Okay? If you tip it too far, you're going to notice this hits the screen and this edge comes off of the screen and all your emulsion will drip and run down the screen. You don't want that to happen. So you want to keep consistent pressure between this edge of the scoop coater and your screen. Start 3, 4, 5 inches up from the bottom. Your design's not going to go that close to the bottom. If you start right at the bottom, you have a tendency to get emulsion down in this screen channel, and it's really tough to remove that later on in the process when you go to clean your screen. So come up 3 or 4 inches to start your emulsion. Press the scoop coater against the screen while either holding the screen with your other hand, or if you want to use 2 hands with your scoop coater, have a friend hold this screen for you. Pushing against the screen, tip up so that emulsion makes contact with the screen. Bring your emulsion scoop coater up to the top, and you want to stop while continuing pressure on the screen. Let that emulsion flow back down into the scoop, and then pick up to end the coating process. This is one side that's coated. You can see it's a nice even coat of emulsion. You're going to flip the screen over. You're going to coat the second side. Again, the same process. Pressure against the screen. Tip the scoop coater up. Stop at the top. Drop the scoop coater down to let that emulsion flow back in. Scoop up to catch any drips. Now that your screen is coated, you can put it in this dryer. This dryer is for emulsion screens only. Should not put screens with water on them in here to dry, because that water will drip and damage somebody else's emulsion that's curing. Flip the switch on here, and that will speed the curing time on your emulsion. You can also dry emulsion without putting it in here. It just takes a little longer. Last step here is cleaning your scoop coater. So you're going to return that unused emulsion into the emulsion bucket. The more emulsion you can get out of that, the easier it will be to clean with water. This emulsion is water soluble, so if you do get some on you, not the end of the world. Wash your hands with soap and water, it will take care of that. This emulsion is uncured emulsion, meaning it's still liquid. It does not need emulsion remover to clean it up. Alright? Liquid emulsion that has not dried or cured under light can just be washed with water. Okay? The only time you need the emulsion remover is when you have cured emulsion that you're trying to power wash out of a screen. So this scoop, you can just use water. Use your hand to rub a little bit. Once it's clean, you can dry it with a paper towel. Notice there is no emulsion in the cracks, in the corners. The back edge here has also been clean. When I used my hands, when I was kind of wiping it, I washed on both sides of that edge. This edge you really want to be sure is clean, because again, if that has lumps, clumps, bumps on it, it'll affect the way that the scoop coater performs. So make sure this is all washed out. Look, it looks brand new again. All the emulsion should wash out of it. You can dry it with a paper towel and return it to your teacher. Also note, just because you see emulsion scoops that look like this in this back sink, these are old and used and abused. You'll notice that the edge where you apply the emulsion has crud and dings in it. This is going to give you a very uneven coat of emulsion and is not recommended. So if you get an emulsion scoop from me, it will be clean and look like this and shiny. I recommend that over using one that has been sitting in the sink and is cruddy and yucky. Last step. Remember this thing you removed before you started? Put it back on to protect the edge.